The proof that someone doesn't believe in the afterlife is the one who pushes the orphan around. And the orphan is a representation of someone who doesn't have support. So someone who doesn't have social support. An orphan, by the way, defined specifically as someone who lost their parents in childhood age. So yatim in the Arabic sense isn't someone who lost their parents in older age, but in childhood age. Now, when a parent is lost, even in older age, one feels helpless, one feels depressed, one feels like, the ground from underneath their feet has been taken away. It's a very heavy thing, even for an adult. Can you even imagine for a child? How helpless a child feels. A child, we don't remember our parents as adults much. But a child, just think about how many times they say mom and dad, abba, mama. How many times they call their mother and their father out every single day. They don't even think about it constantly on their mind. They don't see their mother for 2 minutes. They're in the same house. They don't see them for 2 minutes. Mama, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Right? This happens to a child. They have this need. Their world, their shelter is their mother or their father. And when those are taken away, a yatim, can you imagine how helpless this child is? And how sad this child's life is. So these are the people that are worthy of the most pity, the most mercy, the most courtesy in a society. And what kind of human being could it be that would push him around? What kind of despicable, disgusting human being could that be? You see, when you deny the akhirah, you've denied something that was in your heart. And when you deny something in your heart becomes a little hard. And when your heart becomes hard, one of the things that goes away from your heart is mercy. Because for believers, bil-marhaba, iman, one of its consequences is mercy. And when there's no iman, what's going to go away also? The things that are good inside the heart will also start disappearing and getting rusty. This person lied against the religion, and it was easy for him now for him to be heartless. To push an orphan around. Yadu'ul yatim. Da'a in Arabic is to push someone far away with the expectation they can't push you back. There's different words for hitting people. Da'a is to really push someone afar. And the idea, da'ah is also to intimidate someone and to kick them out of a gathering by bullying them. Get out of here, and you push them out. Like, kick them out the door. This is the attitude he has towards the orphan. Here now is atfiyah, which means the one who lies against the orphan or lies against the religion and does this. In other words, these are two sides of the same coin. The first crime was against Allah and the second crime against humanity. When you do a crime against Allah, that's only one part of your criminal behavior. Naturally, the other part will be crimes against humanity. And the flip side is true also. If you do criminal behavior against human beings, it is only natural that you're probably engaged in criminal behavior against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These go hand in hand. So فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُ الْيَتِيمَ عَنْ حَقِّهِ دَفْعًا شَدِيدًا, that to push the orphan away from his own rights. So it's not some stranger pushing the orphan away. A stranger might not even know he's an orphan. You're walking down the street, nobody knows you're an orphan. But his own family, the neighbors, people who know him, that know that he has rights over them, or that child or he or she has rights over them, they're the ones who push him around and push him away from his own rights. He's coming to eat the food that his parents left him. No, get out of here. They're doing an offense against him for the money that he himself deserves or she herself deserves. So فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدْعُ الْيَتِيمِ. What does that mean then? It means he calls the orphan. And the way that's been understood by classical scholars is that the one who the orphan is living with, he calls him, uses him, abuses him, and pushes him away. He only calls him when he needs him and then pushes him away. So in other words, he's just turned him into a slave or a servant. يَدْعُ used for the one you're calling, for service in the sense. So he's only turned the one he's supposed to honor and the one whose rights he's supposed to be terrified about, he uses them for nothing more than a servant. I'll read the exact quote for you, inshallah ta'ala. This is from Tafsir al-Razi again. وَقُرِئَ يَدْعُ الْيَتِيمَ أَيْ يَدْعُوهُ رِيَاءً ثُمَّ لَا يُطْعِمُهُ وَإِنَّمَا يَدْعُو اسْتِخْدَامًا أَوْ قَهْرًا. That he only calls him, he doesn't feed him, and when he calls him, he only calls him to use him and to just make use of him or even make fun of him. This connection between denying the next life and having bad behavior towards people, this is not the first time in the Qur'an this is coming. The connection between these two things. We read about these things before. For example, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا اكْتَالُوا عَلَى النَّاسِ يَسْتَوْفُونَ وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُوهُمْ يُخْسِرُونَ. The people who cheat in business, they heckle even they try to get the smallest profit to cheat the customer out of 1 gram, or half a pint or whatever, to cheat the customer. And Allah says even at the end of that behavior, أَلَا يَظُنُّ أُولَٰئِكَ أَنَّهُمْ مَبْعُوثُونَ. Have they assumed that they're never going to be brought back? In other words, He connected their criminal behavior against people with being brought back, with the akhirah. These two things are connected again. Similarly, in Surah Al-Alaq, كَلَّا إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى. No, the human being, he truly rebels. Why does he rebel? أَرَّآهُ اسْتَغْنَى. Does he think that he's free of need? إِنَّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ الرُّجْعَى. It is only to your master you have to be returned. Rebellion compared with where did it come from? The idea that I don't have to be returned. The two things put together again. One more place, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى. As for the one who gave, this surah is the one who doesn't give. But the one who gave and has taqwa, وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى. He confirmed the truth, he confirmed the most beautiful thing, which is the truth, this Islam. On the other hand, وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى. And the one who is cheap and doesn't think he needs anyone else. He thinks himself free of need. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى. He lies against the most beautiful truth. So the two things are connected constantly in the Qur'an in